Hi, if you've studied world-class golfer Jordan Spieth, you may have noticed something unusual in his swing that the commentators often refer to. That when he's swinging through an impact and post-impact, you might see his left arm leave his side and look like it's buckling slightly. Often we might call this a chicken wing or so on. And this is unusual in a top player that you'd see this happening. Notably him and Lee Westwood, you'll see a little bit through the swing. So why is a player of that quality doing that move? Well, there's two or three reasons in Spieth's case. He has a fairly orthodox grip, but his left hand grip is quite weak to the left and his right hand grip is quite strong, which is pretty rare for a top player these days. So when he gets to the top of his swing, his left wrist can get a little bit bowed. But even before then, as he's taking the club away, his club face orientation to the arc is a little bit closed. That means his club is looking down for quite a long time, and further into the backswing the club face is still looking a little bit shut rather than, say, traditionally square. Now what that means is that his face is a little close to the arc and he's got to protect himself from that. And if he had a traditional release where his left arm folded, released here and the club went back out on plane straight away, he'd probably tend to be hooking the ball quite a bit. So there's a little bit of an anti-hook mechanism. His face has gone back a bit closed, and then he flattens it, and then he holds the club down the line here. Him keeping this left elbow going towards the target a bit longer keeps this club face a little squarer for longer in his case, and then ultimately the club rehinges back on plane. Now it's not something I'd normally encourage you to do in your swing unless you are hooking the golf ball. Really, if you want speed in your swing and you want to stop your slice, you do need to appreciate that this hand and forearm ultimately rotate and rehinge. We don't want to get too flicky, but certainly in a good golf swing, as we're swinging down into impact, we're getting to this firm, flat left wrist position, the forearms, the club face, the shoulders, everything is rotating gradually, and you'd notice that this left elbow folds. One simple feeling is what I call the left-handed hitchhiker. If you put your thumb up and thumb a lift, this gives you the feeling of what that left arm motion should be doing through the swing. You may see other practice aids, things like the smart ball and so on. This is a great little device. Pop it round my head, trap the air-filled ball between my arms. This is great for giving you a feeling of connection and how the arms should behave in the through swing. So little devices like that will certainly help you. From a practice point of view, make L-shaped swings where you swing the club back, forming an L shape, swing down, release and rehinge. Notice the L shape's back again here. Just try a few of these. You'll find you'll get a really nice release and you'll get the club and the leverage unloading at impact here. And remember, we're not trying to keep our left arm straight forever. It will fold and submit in the through swing. So rather than play cricket or hockey and do this, I'd encourage you to let that release. You'll see there, you'll get a nice bit of penetration on your shots. So I hope you understand that better, that arm motion, and it'll certainly help you stop your slice.
So here we are with Jordan Spieth, and you can see from his address position and his grip, it's slightly unusual in that he's got quite a weak left hand position. His left wrist is straight there and his right wrist is a little bit strong, and our grip and the way we hold the club influences how the club face reacts to the arc. So this is quite unusual. If you looked at most tour players that have a kink or a bend in that left wrist, this tends to close the face a little bit for him in the backswing. Then he makes a very powerful turn and wide here at the top, but again you can already see he's got a little bit of a kind of softening in his left arm, although still got the radius, still got the space. Then a very powerful move down, and coming into impact, what's common with a lot of these top players is that they're holding their angles a long time in their right arm. So coming down here, these angles they store in here are very late, and the longer you hold those angles, the more the left arm gets out in front of you. Bear in mind his left hand grip He's had to hold this position here, otherwise that ball would flip left. And then as he releases through, you'll see the club face has squared up, so the club face is turned over and he gets into this very long extension, not dissimilar to Zach Johnson, and that left arm then folds and submits. Now for many of you, if you made that move, I'm afraid you wouldn't necessarily square the club face. It's not something we're trying to recommend, or it's something he's tried to do. He's learnt to hit the ball that way. So certainly if you're fighting a slice, you want to feel those forearms rotate and the club face close and rehinge a little bit more. But as I say, these guys from a strong position are hitting it so late, just like Dustin Johnson, Lee Westwood, Brandon Grace, a few of these guys, you'll see a bent left arm as they go through.